Welcome to The Standard. From Vancouver, I'm Peter Klein. Coming up tonight, the World Cup is about to begin in South Africa. Will the world's largest sporting event be safe? A former BBC reporter will be here to share his thoughts. But first, former BC Premier Bill Vander Zalm and his battle against the HST. On July 1st, the harmonized sales tax will take effect in British Columbia. The provincial government says the HST will increase jobs, wages, and investment, but not everyone agrees with this assessment. Former BC Premier Bill Vander Zalm is leading the charge to scrap the HST, and he's joining me from his home in Ladner, BC. Welcome back to The Standard, Mr. Vander Zalm.
Thank you very much, Peter.
We had you on a few months ago when you started this campaign, right at the beginning. Are you surprised at the level of interest from the public in what you're doing?
I'm extremely impressed, and I'm somewhat surprised because people are searching out where it is we might be set up to take signatures. And people will stand in line for a couple of hours, if need be, to have their signature registered. So it's great to see this type of response. Yeah, it's quite surprising. And we're going to hit big numbers.
Can you explain to our viewers, particularly our British Columbia viewers, what exactly is going on? Because I think a lot of people are confused. There are people going door to door getting signatures. There's also signs at restaurants to specifically stop the HST on restaurants. It seems like there's a number of different campaigns going on, correct?
Well, any of the campaigns that went on previously, the restaurant campaign and all of those campaigns obviously were unofficial. And I imagine if they took petitions, unfortunately, they may have helped keep the issue alive, but they probably all ended up in the shredder. This campaign is formal. I had to actually purchase the petition from Elections BC. I had to pay for it. That's okay. So now we have a formal petition that people can sign, and if we get 10% in every constituency of the province, every constituency, we can't be short by one vote in one, then we are successful. We take it to Elections BC. They check it to make sure that everyone signed in the right constituency and that they didn't sign twice, of course. And after that, it goes to the legislature. And the legislature has one of two choices. They can deal with it in the legislature, vote yay or nay, or they can send it to a referendum a year later. We're saying you don't need to spend $20 million or whatever the cost on a referendum, taxpayers' dollars. We have a referendum now. By the time we're finished, we're going to be well in excess of 500,000 signatures. So this is a referendum.
Now, but my understanding is the government could ignore this petition. Isn't that within their power?
That's right, and we've put the government on notice. We've put every MLA on notice that if they vote against the petition, we'll quickly move to recall. We couldn't start recall until 18 months after the election, which takes us to November. But by the time Elections BC deals with the petition, by the time it goes to the legislature, it'll be just about November. So if they vote against it, we go to recall. And we may only need to recall one or two people. We could recall 7 and change the government or force a bunch of by-elections. But instead, we may just recall the Premier or recall the Premier and the Finance Minister. And that'll send a message to government beyond anything they've ever seen before.
Well, Gordon Campbell is clearly in your crosshairs in your targeting this issue. Has he reached out to you at all? Has he contacted you either directly or indirectly?
I understand there's a whole bunch of criticism of Bill Vander Zalm for doing what he's doing in one of the Eastern papers today. And it's by Gordon Campbell. It's probably from Belgium, or maybe he's in Thailand by now. He should be here speaking to the regular folks, the ordinary people, the people that pay the price. But instead, he's out traveling in Europe and Asia. And I guess that's in part because, hey, there's a bit of a revolution going on here, and he doesn't want to be here during a time of a quiet revolution.
But has he talked to you at all?
He hasn't spoken to me at all, nor the finance minister. I've seen the finance minister once or twice during the course of the last 5 or 6 months, but no, we've never talked HST. They've never called me about it. I heard nothing.
I mean, as you know, one of the criticisms is that you and Gordon Campbell presumably are on the same side of sort of supporting free enterprise, being in a party that really is a champion of free enterprise, and yet you're on opposite sides of this issue, and some people are saying you're giving political power to the NDP. How do you respond to that criticism, that you are doing something that is potentially anathema to free enterprise?
Well, this is not about political parties. This is not about free enterprise. Whenever we have all these meetings that we've held throughout the whole of the province, we get people that belong to the NDP, the Liberals, the Conservatives, the Refederation, the Greens, the No Political Party. It goes across the political spectrum. It's about people. It's giving power to the people. And it's not even about free enterprise, because if we kill the poor and kill the middle class and leave all the benefits to HSBC, to the other big banks, to Chevron, to Shell, to Alcan, to Inco, to Cominco, it doesn't matter to whom, we're going to kill this province anyway. There won't be anything for anyone. This is the most stupid thing economically and the dumbest thing politically that I've ever seen in my whole life.
Well, I want to talk about some of the details of the economics in a moment. But before we take a break, I want to get your thoughts on Gordon Campbell's political career. I mean, do you think that this has certainly probably not been very good for him? There's a lot of anger towards him. Do you think his political career is over after this?
Well, I think perhaps he could still go into the legislature tomorrow, come back from wherever he's traveling and walk into the legislature and say we made a mistake. When 80 to 90% of the people are opposed to something in a representative government, we better listen to the people. We're canceling it. It's a mistake. They could do that and have it over with quickly, and they would benefit from that politically in spades. If he goes on as he has been, and it seemed to be totally undemocratic, and it seemed to be stubborn, no, if they continue on that route, they not only will kill themselves and kill the government, they'll kill their political party. They'll be gone off the map for a long time to come.
Well, I want to get down to some brass tacks, some specific numbers, but we have to take a quick break. We'll discuss that after this short commercial. More with Bill Vander Zalm.